What's up, everybody? Back again for another live. About to send Tyquan a request, and then we'll get started.
Oh, what's good, Alex?
What's going on, bro?
What's going on? What's going on?
Not much.
Move the camera back.
How's your week been?
It's been all right, man. Just working and working out, as you can see. How about you, man?
About the same. Today, or this whole week, is a deload for me because I've been pretty beat up lately, training for the bench comp. And then next week, I'm getting back to it. So
Have you
most
got Have you got some rest?
a little bit. My schedule is kind of crazy, so and plus, like, you ever get used to a schedule and then you can't sleep in anymore?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'll sleep until like 11 today, and then I woke up and it was like 8 something in the morning, and I was like, all right, never mind.
Oh yeah. Even now, I have to definitely work on getting more rest because I always put down on people like resting because if you don't rest, you get injured, you can hurt yourself, something can happen. So
Yeah.
even now, I think today I'm gonna try to get more rest today because I'm off today. So.
Yeah, honestly, like that's for the most part, that's how I got hurt, like
Oh wow.
by pushing too hard for too long, and then just like not taking deloads or not like abiding by what the program said, just kind of ego lifting. Because it's
Uh,
like I could definitely get this weight up, and then I end up snapping myself up. So
Yeah, see, I mean, I go off, honestly, all my workouts I go off like how I feel. Like, I never got ego lifted because it's just like, if I, like, there's days, like, we're humans, we're not like machines. So, like, if I feel like, because most of the time I do like to lift heavy, but I can't lift heavy, I don't mind doing like 15, 20 reps because, like I said, I'm like, I've seen so many injuries, especially like seeing them on IG nowadays,
yeah,
bicep, back. I'm like, nah, if I feel like, especially now, like, I work 10 hours a day. So, like, if I get like, I usually work 10 hours a day, sleep, and then go to the gym. Like some days I cannot lift heavy at all, so I'll just go in there and just do reps, just like work out, just do reps, and then that's it.
yeah, and that's what you got to do. Like I'm a huge fan of rate of perceived exertion, like the RPE stuff now.
Yeah,
Whereas before, I was all very like percentage based of my one rep max. I was like, oh, I got to hit this number for today. And again, like that's how you burn out. That's how you get hurt. But I feel you with those long shifts. I used to work at a moving company
oh yeah,
by like the high school, Franklin High School. And I would be in there, like you got to be in there in the warehouse at 6 in the morning. And then
yeah.
you just moving stuff all the way until like 4:30. And then I would eat something and then go lift. So I would just like, yeah, burning the candle at both ends like the entire time. So yeah,
That's
I feel you, dude.
I was excited. I was actually excited for an interview. I was like, I'm new to this social media thing. That's why I asked you like about the live. I'm literally like learning how to do TikToks and like reels and stuff. Like I literally don't
Yeah.
know. Some of my friends help me out, or I get some of the gym help me out. That's why I'm like, all right. I was just like definitely excited because I'm like, oh, because I'm still like, I'm like, okay. I never was like, okay, I never did this, but try it out though. I
Yeah.
think it's honest, good exposure. So
Yeah, I like it. And I like doing these interviews because like there's a lot of us out here trying to do the same thing. Like we're all trying to improve ourselves, obviously. That's what we go to the gym for. But also, not everybody knows everybody. And I feel like sometimes the fitness industry is either very niche or very clicky.
oh
So like for me personally, like I love powerlifting, I love bodybuilding. But not that's not everybody's vibe. So like I enjoy talking to other trainers or other people that work out to kind of see like all these different perspectives and bring everybody together.
yeah, that's kind of my biggest goal. That's actually one of my big goals for my page. Because even me, like, I try to make myself versatile. Because like you said, you got your power lifter, weight trainer, CrossFit. You have everything varies, and you got those audiences. So even me, like, I try to be as versatile as possible because, like I said, I try to do calisthenics. I try to do strength train, lift heavy. Then also, like I said, I try to do like cardio. Like I try, because like I said, trying to get all the audience to be. If you
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. So that kind of brings me to my first question. How long have you been into fitness and what got you into it in the first place? And then what's your favorite style or method of working out?
So it really got me into fitness. I started with calisthenics in high school, right? So I remember I don't know if you ever watched Herschel Walker SEC Story.
Like here and there.
Yeah, so I used to watch like I played like minor sports and stuff like that in high school. So like my thing was just like especially when I had foot surgery on both my feet.
Uh,
So I was really injured and I guess I was just at home watching TV and I was just okay. I was just like, I'm gonna start doing push-ups and sit-ups because I was so bored.
Mm-hmm.
I was so bored. So in the this is when I was like 16. So I was watching it, and they said Herschel Walker used to do like 500 to 1,000 push-ups and sit-ups every day. So I used to do. People don't believe it, but I used to write it down. I had a piece of paper. I would write it down. The most I ever did was like 1225, I think, in a day. Like I used to do so many push-ups and sit-ups, push-ups, sit-ups. So I remember one day I walked outside. This is like 2 months. I finally was able to just crutch outside, and some of my friends just looked at me crazy. They're like, "Wow, you like?" I was very vascular, and
Mm-hmm.
they was like, "What were you doing in there? Like you was like in jail in there or something like that?" I was like, "Nah, I literally was just doing push-ups and sit-ups, push-ups and sit-ups, push-ups and sit-ups." And then we had like a little community gym in my like neighborhood. It was trash. It had no weights. It was just a treadmill. It was a 20-pound dumbbell. I didn't really even know what that is. So I just kept push-ups and sit-ups and push-ups and sit-ups for a briefly long time. And then, like I said, it was just, I don't really think that really got me more into fitness. It was like just a stay in shape kind of thing,
Yeah.
because basketball, something like that. But I wasn't thinking like, you know. So I think when I graduated after high school, and like I will always remember this day because I remember this is like typical guy stuff right here. So I remember we was playing volleyball, and this is the time I used to work at WoW when I was like 18 or like 18, 19. And I think literally I've seen it was like a bunch of girls out and stuff like that. And I was just like, okay. I was literally, I think I was eating so much WoW. I ate WoW for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I ate so much, never didn't work out, didn't do anything. So it's just literally, and I don't get really fat. I just get a huge stomach and like, you know, like the little chin. So I literally, you know, some guys had their shirts off and everything. I felt so insecure, like so insecure. I was just like, wow, this is kind of embarrassing. Like, and I didn't feel good. I really didn't feel good at all. I'm like, you know, some guys, there were some buff guys at the volleyball court and basketball court, and I'm just like, I'm sitting here looking at my stomach. I'm like, yeah, that has to change. So I wound up going to Planet Fitness in North Brunswick. And I remember just going there late night. I always tell people too, like I had bad anxiety, so I didn't want to go when everybody else was going. I went like, this is when it was, you know, before COVID, so it was 24 hours. So I would definitely go late night to like 12, 2 in the morning, work out. And then like I said, I just went on YouTube, looked at certain things, watched like the Iron Generation a lot. And like I said, the next thing you know, I actually enjoyed it. Like it kept me like, it just made me like the feeling after a good workout. It's kind of undescribable. Like you feel good, you feel like you accomplished something. So and I like that feeling. So that kind of basically got me into fitness.
Got you. So the first thing I love about that is you're a man of class. Wawa is the GOAT for sure. The breaded chicken sandwich, bro, the custom breaded chicken sandwich slaps so hard. I'm not gonna lie, I probably get that like once a week, like for my cheat meal. It's so good. But I definitely feel you on being self-conscious about being overweight, because dude, it was like from fourth grade all the way up until my sophomore year when I actually started lifting.
Yeah.
I was always overweight, and I distinctly remember like in fourth grade, everybody was talking about how much they weighed, and of course everybody's tiny, right? They're, oh, I weigh 80 pounds, I weigh 90 pounds, and I'm like, dude, I weigh 110. Like, why am I so much heavier than everybody else? And then same thing, like once I got to middle school, I started doing like push-ups, a little bit of pull-ups. I wasn't really great at pull-ups because I was so heavy, but I just remember I had like 10-pound dumbbells, and I would do 100 curls every night, just trying to get my arms better, trying to do like arm wrestling in the lunchroom, just anything I could, because I was just like mad self-conscious. I'm like, why are all these other kids way more jacked than me? Why are they so much stronger than me? So on and so forth. So I just like became obsessed with figuring out how to get like more jacked. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that.
Yeah, I always tell people like when it comes to working out, because you know I'm bigger now, so people see me in the gym, they're like, you were always big. No, like even when I was doing my calisthenics, I still was like 160 pounds. I started off doing like 3 push-ups. Even when I started at Planet Fitness, I did literally. I remember it was like 3 pull-ups, a couple, maybe 10. It always had some type of upper body strength, so it was like maybe like 8 to 10 push-ups. I couldn't do anything. It's just years of just consistency, just keep practicing at the,
Yeah.
you know,
And it was also interesting because I was always, don't get me wrong, I loved athletics. I loved gym class, but I was always mad embarrassed afterwards because so I'm biracial, right? My dad's Puerto Rican, my mom's white. So I tend to have fairer skin. So when I would actually like exert myself mad hard, my face would be mad red, bro. And I'm talking about like 15, 20 minutes after I'm done working out. just mad red all the time. So I'm like, yo, this sucks, dude. Like, I need to get in better shape because I'm not trying to look crazy all the time.
Yeah,
So that again, like all that stuff is what kind of got me into it in the first place, and just learning how to get myself better and into better shape.
that's good.
So what are some of your more impressive feats or lifts? So I know that you do calisthenics. I also know that you do weightlifting.
Yeah.
What are some of your most impressive things that you've done?
Well, everybody knows I love muscle ups. Once I was able to do it, because you can go to the gym right now, you can ask anybody, like it doesn't matter how heavy your life, you do a muscle up. I guarantee more than half can do that. But it's something I worked on for years because people ask me like I've been doing pull ups for years. I love pull ups. Like any back workout, especially when I was really in hardcore lifting, I would have to do at least 100 to 200 pull ups every time I work out. Like I would have to. Like I can't do my back workout without doing like 100 pull ups. Like I have to. But like that muscle up is definitely one of my favorite feats because it took a long time, and definitely I think me squatting 315, I felt verified at the gym. Gym guys, so their stats you got your 225. That's like
Yep.
the like a gym guy, and then you hit 315s like you're legit. You got the little star badge. So like when I hit 315, I was definitely happy. Squat. I have like I think even now, even though like, I feel like I want my squat to be higher. I mean, I'm happy that it's like 430, 440. But even like I said, I feel like my weightlifting thing. I'm a really guy like I like want to train just as hard as the other people. So when I see like I only lift like around like 300, 400, like 300. I'm like my max bench is like 350, and then my max squat is like 430, 440. So when I see other people lift like 400, like Russell Swoll, like 500, 600, 700 squat, I'm like, I'm look like I'm big, but then also they're way above average than most people anyway.
Yeah.
I think like honestly, yeah, I think it's my bench and honestly muscle ups and stuff like that. But I think that's pretty much it for the like I guess impressive. Because like I said, I just weightlifting, just like years of weightlifting. That's you should be. I feel like if you worked out for a couple years, you should have some decent like. Me personally, it's sad because I've seen guys that go to the gym for like a couple years and gain no results. Like look the same and stuff like I
Yeah.
feel like if you work out properly and proper technique, you should definitely see. Because like I said, I worked out. Thank God for like people I train with and like asking people for advice. So I was able to learn some stuff. So if you train properly, anybody should get stronger or bigger over like, a couple years now.
Yeah. I think it's very difficult because we've been so brainwashed by social media
Ooh,
because
yeah.
you open up Instagram and you see 50 people with a better physique than you, right? All sub 10% body fat. Or you see all these people lifting crazy numbers and it's like these are all genetic phenoms, right?
Oh
They
yeah.
can literally go in the weight room, touch a weight, and then boom, they blow up. And I'm like, and for people like you and me that really have to work hard to get everything that we have, it's mad like demoralizing sometimes, which is why I'm really trying to focus on like, okay, it's me versus myself. As long as I'm improving, like I love doing this because I can keep on going.
Yeah.
Um, and that it's yeah, I feel you, dude. It's super tough, especially like, bro. I just turned 27 on Tuesday.
Okay.
And there's people that are like,
But
oh, it looks. There are people that are like 5, 6 years younger than me that are either benching 100 pounds more, deadlifting 300 or 400 pounds more, and I'm just like, how? Like, this makes no sense.
I mean, also me personally, you're in the era of steroid. I mean, like, everybody. I mean, nobody thinks they know, but so many influencers and so many even younger kids. If people who like me, you who work out, I've seen it physically in my eyes in the gym. A lot of people use steroids nowadays. All these top influencers that everybody shows and be like, wow, they look like that. Like most common people can't even look the way some of these guys look.
Yeah,
They're just saying it. Like when I see somebody with the Lifetime Natural on their bio and they look huge as hell, I'm like, who are you lying to? Like,
yeah,
but that's somebody like I feel like I can see that, but I don't. Sometimes like it does get a little demoralizing, and sometimes I just kind of like push it to the side because I'm like, now imagine if because I'm already like 230, almost 240 sometimes, and I'm like, imagine if I took steroids. Lord knows what I would look like.
yeah,
But sometimes I'm just like, we just still come here, still put in the work, and I always tell people like, don't. And most of the Instagram stuff, I'm avid on it. It's just fake. Like even when I post my workouts, I try to post workouts people legit can do. Like people
yeah, yeah,
like these ain't no like I see some of these BS workouts that some of these Instagram guys like they're literally guys who probably take stuff or even though some probably don't, they get jacked and they do these BS workouts and people literally type I'm realistic. Like if you like literally if you posted like a workout doing, I seen this treadmill workout, it went viral. I'm like, what the hell is that? If you, I would tell you like, what is this? Like, that's not going to do anything. My biggest thing for anybody working out is literally you have to go to the gym, you got to properly diet, and you got to properly lift. Like I'm a big avid on. I always tell people look at bodybuilders. People are like they're too big, they're too big. Obviously, you take doses like huge doses of steroids and what you call it, years of working out, yeah, you look like that. But any average person, if you know how to properly lift and properly work out, you will look pretty good.
Yeah.
Obviously, but like I said, people don't they just go off what they see on Instagram. Like
Yeah.
it looks flashy, but those hit workouts, they don't do anything though. So
Yeah, definitely. And it's so funny that you say that because like I'm a diehard advocate of the barbell and free weights in general, right?
yeah,
And it obviously like any exercise is better than nothing, but it's like okay, if you want to build strength and if you want to build muscle, you have to use those tools because if you don't and you're going in there, you're just wasting your time, right? You can
yeah,
build a lot of strength and a really decent physique doing calisthenics or even like band workouts, cables, stuff like that, but it's like the exercises that you can load up with the most weight are what's going to be the most effective, like have the most change. And it's like a lot of people don't really understand that. And they think, just like you're saying, because they see a person who's been on roids for 10 years, like muscles that are this big, oh, I don't want to look like that. I don't want to bulk up. It's like, first of all, you don't have the genetics for it. Like you could work out as hard as you want. You're never going to look like that. So there's tons and tons of myths in there. And when I was checking out your page and I saw the post about like not doing like BS workouts, I was like, yo, finally,
yeah.
finally someone who really understands because there's just like you're saying, there'll be a dude who's freaking jacked and you can tell he's been lifting for like 15 plus years and he'll do a hit circuit and say, oh, if you do this hit circuit, you could look like me. It's like, nah.
People will comment fire like this is great. I'm like, nah, it's not. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
not realistic. So I mean, hopefully, the fitness industry has always kind of been kind of fake, especially like I said now. I mean, my goal is at the end of the day, I always tell my friends I can't be like a fake. My goal is to like legit. I want to teach people, so I don't want to be a fake influencer or be like and pre. That's just not it. Like I
Right.
just want people to scope their body and do it the correct way. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, sometimes people see me do this crazy stuff, but at the end of the day, like if you DM me, I would tell you like, don't worry about a muscle, worry about pull-ups. Like do your
Yeah.
pull and do proper. Like I said, anything with proper form and technique, you'll be strong. You probably look good too.
Yeah. So, what are some of the things that kind of helped you get to where you are? So obviously, like muscle ups are very difficult. A lot of people can't do them. I think the most I ever did in a row was like three. So, what kind of helped you get to there? And then also, you said you had like a 350 bench. So, kind of walk us through how you got to there as well.
Well, it's also okay. So it's definitely hard doing muscle ups because, like I said, I'm around 200 and almost. I'm like 235 right now. 235. So it's like my thing is with muscle up is you have to have a heavy pull up. Like you have to be strong on your pull ups. Like I've seen some guys like they'll do 10. Like, even some guys like they'll at the gym they'll try to do muscle ups. Like I've seen the guy literally try to do muscle because I did one. I'm like, and he literally smaller than me couldn't do it. I'm like, how many pull-ups can you do? Like, well, I could do like 6 or 7. I'm like, well, what you thought you was gonna be able to do? Like a muscle up too? I'm like, no, it's not. It's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's technique. It's definitely technique, and definitely you have to have upper body strength, like solid upper body strength, because you're pulling your weight up. Like people saying, like you on a cliff or you're hanging off. Can you be able to pull yourself all the way up at your and like whatever weight you're at? My biggest thing is just practice pull-ups. And my thing is like when you do pull-ups, I practice like explosive pull-ups. So when you pull, like I probably pull myself up all the way, like as much as I can. Pull yourself up, like keep pulling yourself up. Like that's honestly the biggest thing. Is for people who don't know, like need help with pull-ups. I always like I started at 3. Do 4 sets of 3 pull-ups. Even if you come down to 1, keep doing 1, 1, 1. Keep practicing. I never use that assisted pull-up machine. I'm sorry, I think it's fucking stupid. It's just my opinion. I don't like the assisted pull-up machine. I never used it. I feel like even with me when I was doing my little 3, it's just something that you just keep practicing. Even if you could just do 1 or half of 1, just you got to be able to keep doing that motion and practice that motion. Once I swear, I always tell people if you can't even do 1 pull up and you just did half, you do half. Keep practicing that half. Keep practicing that half. I guarantee you within 2-3 weeks you'll be able to do 1. Now you do 1 pull up. Now keep practicing 2 or 3, 4 sets of 1 pull up, and consistent, and then you'll be able eventually to pull ups. So then you go from there.
Yeah, that's so true. And honestly, so this was like I think it was a little over 2 years ago at this point. bro, I was like 50 pounds overweight, and I had been lifting for a while, but I just like I was trying to outwork a bad diet. So I got all the way up to like 236 pounds, and I still had pull-ups in my program, but it was hard to do them because I was so heavy. And like just like you're talking about, I would do a lot of sets, but very low reps. So I would do like I think at one point I got up to like 20 sets of three. So I'd
Yeah.
just be over there banging out pull-ups for half an hour. And that's what really helped me understand the movement and also develop bigger back strength. So I
Yep.
think a lot of people get really overwhelmed if they can't do, let's say, like a set of 6 to 10. But just like you're saying, if you break it down into smaller pieces, like you're still going to accumulate all that volume. It's just going to be a lot more manageable for you.
Yeah, and then like I said, if you're consistent, which I preach all the time, consistent, I promise people, within a month you'll be able to do more pull-ups than you did the next month than you did the month prior. That's why you just have to gotta work on it. Even with my bench, like I feel like our old coworkers, he was like a power lifter. So my form used to be trash. Like some of my shit I laughed at. Like you ever look at your old videos and be like, what the hell was I doing? Like
All the time.
that's why I always love it. I love advice. I love advice. So people teach me or train, help me out. I love it. So my thing is like I had to fix my form. I had one of those 4 players bench when it was just like just come down and just like bang it. Obviously, like you said, that's not proper because that's how people tear
The rotator cuffs?
rotator cuffs, X. So that's my biggest thing, especially nowadays, that powerlifting. You're probably, I'm sorry, but some of those powerlifting benches are one of the worst I've ever seen in my life.
Bro,
Like
the range of motion is like this much,
this,
and their arch is like that big, bro, and their grip is like all the way out here.
it looks like if you play Mortal Kombat, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Like literally punch their back, and they're literally just like this. And like they said, that range of motion is like, I mean, yeah, if I put like even one of these days, if I put like 400 something pounds, and all I got to do is hold it for that, I think I probably can do that. That's why most times it's not impressive. Now the technique about a powerlifting is right. Now, like me personally, so I know like when I bench, I squeeze my back a little bit and push it up a little bit, just a little bit, just to get just as much back control. It's just to keep your body stable. And
Yeah.
then I always tell people, when you grab the bar, if you have to wear gloves or if you don't have a strong grip, hold the bar as tight as you possibly can. And like I said, when you lift up and then bring it to your lower ab. And then once you bring it, and then that's because it's like the range of motion a bench is supposed to go up and down. It's not supposed to go like this way. That's why so many people hold their shoulders up. It's always supposed to go up and down. Then when you finish, you gotta re-rack it.
Yeah.
But I guess I hope like I said, I've seen a lot of you see a lot of torn pecs and stuff like that. And honestly, I stopped benching for a while, and I see those torn pec videos. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll stick to my cables. I'm like, I'm not gonna do any of this stuff. But if you lift proper, there's people who like I follow Swing on Panda. He said he never had a major injury. He was heavy 18, 20 years. So it's possible. You just have to be careful.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of those like injury videos are, and that's kind of like the risk of using steroids, right? Like your muscular strength is going to develop faster than your tendon strength, right? So let's say that you have the muscular strength to bench 400 plus pounds, but the tendon strength isn't there. And that's why you see so many people snapping themselves up because they're all trying to ego lift with Larry Wheels. And it's like, the dude's a freaking phenom, right? You're not going to be as strong as him. You're not going to be able to get as many reps. So why are you trying to do that? Why are you trying to go past your abilities?
Wow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Whew, that was crazy. Even
Yeah.
Larry, look how injuries Larry Wheels had. Like he literally, he said he torn his back, his knees, his elbows. Like, I mean, thank God for him. He's like, he's still good, but like when he's older, he's gonna definitely feel all that. Like
Yeah, dude. And it's definitely possible to lift heavy for an extended amount of time. Like you can lift your entire lifting career and go heavy. You just need to be careful about it. And that's why like the really good advice that you gave is going in and basing everything off of how you feel. Because again, like that's how I got hurt. I was going in, I was supposed to do, I think it was like a set of like 6 to 8 pause deadlifts. And I'm like, all right, last week I did 425. This week I'm going to do 435. But I was feeling like trash going into the workout. I knew it wasn't there, but I was like, oh, it's fine. I'll muscle through it. And then I ended up pulling my lat. And dude, I couldn't get out of bed for like 3 days.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. That sounds painful.
Yeah, so just like you have to be smart about your training and you have to be smart about your approach to it. And then like you'll be good.
Yeah.
So you already kind of touched on your approach to learning a muscle up. My next question for you was, how have you managed to improve your calisthenics while weighing in the low 200s? And do you find that how heavy you are affects your abilities? So kind of like I touched on, dude, when I was 236, I can only really get sets of like 3 to 4 pull-ups. When I
Yeah.
cut all the way down to 185, I think, and keep in mind, I definitely had some in the tank. My best was like a set of 20. So how do you find like you're able to work around being as big and muscular as you are, but still having good calisthenics?
Uh, this is where the heavy lifting comes from because, like I said, I'm heavy, so you gotta lift heavy because I can't be doing like light reps. So I do most of the time when I lift heavy because even when I was lighter, I couldn't do a muscle up when I was lighter. I just started doing muscle ups within last year, and that's when I was like with what 220, I think. So even now, like I said, and I'm heavier and I can do way more. My thing is more of obviously you keep practicing and gain, like I said, and people are like actually working out. Like I hope, I'm gonna start posting more videos of more like workouts, like actually gaining muscle and strength. Strength is not easy. It's like to get like to be strong, it's not easy to be strong. Like you can't wake up and be like, well, I can bench this. Like no, it takes a lot of time to gain strength. That's why I tell people like I was telling this young kid at the gym because he was looking crazy on the back machine. I forgot what back machine. He was just like, I'm like literally heavy and hurting him, like about to hurt himself. I'm like, just relax. Like strength will come over time. You just got to keep doing the workouts. Whatever workout you do, just keep doing it. Like I always was big on the value. Like I just told you, like value will get you very far. So like I was always, like I said, I always did 10 pull-ups, 10 pull-ups, and I was able to do 15, 15, and 20. And like I said, I noticed I started getting explosives over my pull-ups. And then, like I said, and then like eventually when I did the muscle up, it was more okay. Keep practicing it, but like I said, like I said, even lifting, continue to lift heavy, like to continue to building your strength. So even now, like I said, there's no way I would be able to think I don't think I'll be able to do a muscle if I was like benching 130 pounds or 140 pounds. Like nah, you have to, especially when you're heavier, you gotta lift more. When you're heavier, I always tell people like when somebody's like 400 pounds and they're doing like a 300 pound 50 bench, I'm not impressed because like it's
Yeah.
not. You have to do. You're a pilot, so you got to do percentage of weight.
Yeah.
That's why I said I'm like even now like when I bench like that I try to I have to lift heavy because like I said I'm more heavier guy so I like lifting heavy and I prefer to lift heavy because like I said me lifting heavy gives you like that deep gets you strong and the deep muscle you can tell when somebody has like legit muscle like that's why I always preach to people obviously lift heavy but lift smart obviously like I said there's days where like I remember one time I was doing like I think 120 130 shoulder press and then like there's days where I'm like I may not go 130. I may go 90 and try to do 10 to 15 reps. Like, and just stay right there. Like I say, because there's nothing wrong with getting, like I said, I always say, there's nothing wrong with doing, like, you see me in the gym, I'll curl, like, tricep, it'll be like a little 20, but I'll do it 20 times. Like, because like I said, I like, that's how you get muscle and that's how you get stronger. So I think that's kind of a major factor of why I'm still able to do muscle ups. Even now, my calisthenics are better now. Like, I don't really do push ups anymore. I don't really do, I'll do obviously sit ups, which is always important for your stomach. But like, I don't really do all the other like I even now my only calisthenics really is probably pull-ups. Even now, like I'll practice some other stuff for videos or do some like in dips, but most of the stuff, nah. If anything, right now, I just practice on my strength right now. To be honest,
Nice. Yeah, and I love your like balanced approach because I feel like so many people kind of go hard to one way versus the other. And I've always been a fan of like overall strength rather than just super specified because it's like, okay, I want to be prepared for life in general, not just this specific movement only. And like
yeah,
the thing I noticed is like some people don't really understand that, which is kind of crazy. I remember talking to this one dude who was big into powerlifting and I told him I was having like a really hard time because I was trying to cut weight but also build strength at the same time. And I just went into my workouts feeling like garbage, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, dude, like, why do you even care about your physique? Like, if you're not going to be like a bodybuilder, blah, blah, blah. And I'm, bro, it's not healthy to be that overweight. You know what I mean? Yeah, who cares? Just like you're saying, like, I'm not impressed if you can bench 400, but you're weighing like almost 300 pounds. You know what I mean? It's like I would rather kind of have like the best of both worlds and have that all around approach. And then also, just like you're saying, it's really good for you to work in different rep ranges because I've been through a couple of different powerlifting peaks where I'm lifting heavy all the time and I feel like garbage. My joints hurt, uh, like my hip was all messed up, my elbows are killing me, blah blah blah. And then when I went back to bodybuilding style, I'm like, oh, this is great. You know what I mean? Everything's like the tendons are healthy, muscles are healthy, blah blah blah. So and then same thing for calisthenics too. Like if I can deadlift 400, that's cool. But if I can't even do a pull up, it's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I always tell people. I'm like, I always, like I said, the way I like kind of train more to the bodybuilding because like I just look at them, I'm like, it's just to be balanced. Like, I'm like, because people ask me, I got actually when I first started posting, like I got DMs like people thought I was trying to be a power lifter. I'm like, no, like I have a video of, like when the first time that I deadlift, it literally was like 4 plates. First time I literally when the first time that I actually, because I don't like me personally, I don't like deadlifting. I said it's just my back. Like I don't have any back problems, but I don't like the way I feel. I don't feel comfortable. And I feel like it doesn't really do much for me. It's just my opinion. And then, like I said, I always worked out. So when I deadlift and I did 4 plates, and I did it, I don't like the way like this way. It was a conventional because I
Yeah,
seen a lot of
switch grip. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of guys hit their bicep. I'm like, nah, it's not my speed. And a lot of guys, fracture disc. Because I'm the first time I have a video of it. I did 4 plates deadlifting, and it was both overhand. Mind you, the former shitty as hell, but I still did it. And I was like, this is my point. I'm like, even though I was like, I don't. This isn't really my thing. I really want to deadlift. I like something that's gonna define my back and make me look strong. Because like I said, I'm like, I want to be like you said. When I see I seen a dude I think at Crunch the other day. Like it was a big guy, but I promise you, there was no way he gonna be able to do no pull up. And then when you cut dudes, and then you ask strength, it's like they can't even do that. Got to be in the middle.
yeah, I definitely agree. I like that all around approach rather than just one versus the other. So my next question is, what things have you changed? Or sorry, let me rephrase that. What things have changed for you in your fitness journey over the last couple of years, and what are your current goals?
Definitely things have changed. Is now that I feel like I'm heavier. I was just like because before I used to be big on cutting. I was a big like lean bulk guy. But even now, like I was more like I was always that's kind of always how I train is lean bulk. But even now, my goal honestly, I think gain more, just trying to like gain more weight. I'm trying to what they call peak my genetic potential.
Hmm.
My thing is like I still growing. I thought I was done growing because last year I used to fight to get to 220. I used to eat and all this stuff to get to 20. I'm like, oh, I'll never make it to 220. If I chill at 220 now. Like now, like I could really, if I don't eat or anything, I could go to 220. But like my goals now is like, okay, if I'm pushing 230, maybe like okay, like, pushing like 230, 240, I can like let me try to push. And like I said, I still have solid muscles, not fat. Like I mean, like I said, then this is Instagram. I don't use much lighting and all that other shit like most people do to look. That's another thing that gets under my skin when I see some of these guys like use this crazy lighting and edit, and then you see their other pictures or you see them in person, you're like, what the hell? Like that
Yeah,
doesn't look like you. Like I don't want that. I want people to know like they see me, like he's a strong dude, he's a big dude. So that's why most of the time you'll see me. I don't put a bunch of anything crazy. Like it's just me posting myself, me working out. Um, I think what was your second question that you asked?
what are your current goals?
I'm actually gonna push my fitness page. So when I first started it, it was like, how do you say, like, honestly, it was just for people. It was not. When I tell you, that's why I asked you with the live thing. Like, I'm not a social media guy. I don't like social people. Anybody knows me, I hate social media. It's just a bunch of bullshit. It's just everything's confliction. Everything's this, and that confliction. It kind of divides everybody, to be honest.
Hmm.
And like, I was never big on social media. Even now on my personal page, I never really I don't post. Even so now, like I just wasn't like I was just like nah. It was a test trial. I was like I'm gonna just do it for 3 months just to test it. And then when I saw I was getting like I think for 3 months I would get like 100 followers a month, and I was just like people like I'm just laughing like people actually like this shit, like what the fuck. Like I would be surprised. I was like people was literally like liking it, and I was just like okay. So like life goes on. So I wasn't thinking about it. Then this year I was like seeing people like actually profit. That's not the really big thing for me right now, but like seeing people actually do well with the fitness thing. And I was just like, if they can do well, like my mind says, like I think I'm confident I can do well too. Like competitors edge, to be honest, to it. So I was like, you know what? Let me actually take it seriously. So I mean, one of my goals right now for the fitness page, just try to get to at least 1,000 followers by the end of the year. Maybe like it's just a pilot goal in the year to get to 1,000. I guess I continue to post. I do want bodybuilding competition, but just not now because of life, etc. I'm trying to become a cop right now. So I can't. That's a full bodybuilding is a full time deal.
Yeah.
So I can't do that right now until everything is set up the correct way. But once that gets started, then I can go from there. But besides, like I said, I do want to get a sponsorship by ASICS. I actually like the brand. I'm a Nike. Don't get me wrong though. I love my Nike. I love my Nike for clothes and stuff. But like when it comes to working out, ASICS doesn't have any workout shoes.
Hmm.
So I be one of ASICS first sponsors that like I want to have ASIC's first workout shoe. Like it's one of my, I can say definitely like when I seen it because I wear ASICs now. Like they're very comfortable. Like I suggest people wear them. Like I have like 2 pair of ASICs. So even I'm definitely gonna buy more. I'm probably gonna start actually buying their clothes. Hopefully I'm gonna let them know so you see, hey, sponsor me. But it's yeah, that's definitely one of my goals to get sponsored by ASICs because, like I said, it's a brand. Not a lot of guys are sponsored by ASICs. Nobody really talks about them, and it's not like hype. I don't like everything that's hype. I like things that's away from hype. I like things that still a good brand. Nobody really talks about it. And like it's that I definitely, like I said, told you I want to get the 1,000 followers. And like I said, I just want to. My goal, honestly, is to build off a genuine audience. Like when you go to my page, and I always, like I said, I post stuff. Hopefully, because with Instagram, people have a short time span. So
Yeah.
like when I post, people read when I'm posting. Like when I posted the video of me running today, and like I was jogging, like I said, I told people like just simply, this is not a workout post. It's just me like looking cool running and stuff like that. Like this is and then adding personal training. Like yes, I'm a personal trainer, but I don't care about that. My point is, if you see this, like I said, when you see that post, I was just telling people, hey, whatever, even if you're trying to get in fitness, just run. I'm heavy as hell. I don't even like running. But like I said, I'm just run, even jog or just do something. It's better than doing nothing. That was the point of the post. That's my point. Is like just like I legit said in my bio, just here to motivate and inspire. So I can, which like I said, I like some people DM me, and like I said, I do be shocked sometimes because I'll be like, I still be thinking like I don't want to say, but I'm a humble guy. So like when people hit me up like, oh, like this is dope and stuff like that, I'll be like, oh, I guess it's perfect then. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's like I said, just keep going. Like I said, who knows? Who knows what the future holds. I definitely want to make a business out of it. I have a lot of. I'm very like I said, I look up so many things. Like I definitely want to make a business, but that's for the future. Because like I said, I'm like I can't go be like let's sell some T-shirts with my name on it. Like it's not gonna. I'm not big enough. I'm just realistic. Like I'm not gonna. But you sell your products, which I tell people to go get. I definitely got you. Definitely gonna cop a tank.
Word.
But it's not like you just can't. You just can't. Like you have to really build your audience and stuff like that over time, and then eventually make it to a business. Like I do have a brand eventually. Like I have everything. Like some things I already have said already. But I just gonna like I said, it's for the future. And like I said, hopefully everything works out. Like I said, my basically the brand, like I said, you can tell is just to be yourself and like taking that step. Like my biggest goal for anybody, because like I'm trying to change my fitness page more into just like helping people, even for like a life thing. Just like whatever you want to do, just stick to it. Be consistent. Don't listen to anybody else. I'm not gonna be one of those fake motivational people and start screaming and yelling or try to sound sad, put some music in the background. I don't give a fuck about all that. My biggest thing is just tell people like, if you want to do something, just fucking do it. Put your mind to it. Just like I said, sometimes there's days I don't like going to the gym. You probably know there's days like you don't like going to the gym, but like since and this is what you like to do, you just do it. That's all it is.
So. Yeah, and I really like your reasoning for your social media, right? So for me, it was low key like the reverse order, right? So you're saying like eventually you want to make a business out of it. For me, it was a way to get more info out there for my clientele so I don't have to constantly repeat myself 24/7, right? So people come to me for training and they're struggling with a certain thing. Like let's say they're struggling with their bench setup or something like that. Oh, I got a video for that. Check out my IG, check out my YouTube, blah, blah, blah. So, and I kind of learned that because I would watch people like Omar Esau from Iron Culture on YouTube. He was a trainer. He's been a trainer for a minute, but that's the whole reason why he started his YouTube channel is because he was like, oh, how can I reach a larger audience without working myself to death? Same thing for Elite FTS. They are an equipment company, but they also give out free information. And they're all mad smart, like immensely smart and super knowledgeable when it comes to technique and all that other stuff. So that's low-key what I'm trying to do is just put my information out there for free so I can help more people around me than are just coming to me on the daily for personal training.
Yeah.
My bad, go ahead.
I was gonna say now, even people ask me like personal training. I mean, you are a personal trainer, right?
Yeah.
So you know how it goes, especially like in our area. Like, I mean, personal now, for instance, it's so big. Everybody wants to be personal. Everybody wants to, I mean, my biggest thing, like I always tell people, like I said, I'm like, I mean, even now I feel like it's kind of with the, I guess like with the audience or with the clients stuff like that. You know, people come and go. Like I said, I'll have clients for like a month, 2 months. I'll have clients for a month. I have clients for a couple of weeks. I mean, I guess my biggest thing I always tell people, just like I said, even if you don't work out with me, is just try to keep working out. I was be
Yeah.
healthy and active. You don't have to work out. If you got to take a Zumba class, or you got to do something, I don't know, just walk. My biggest thing, I even tell people, like, even if you don't train me, if you don't want to train me, my point is being physically active and being, like I said, just being healthy. Because like people, especially with our generation, people are saying like, you know, when you're young, your body can hold so much stuff. We could take so much damage and beatings. Once you get like a certain age, I think our body changes like every 7 8 years. Once after that, it's like, you know, you anything can happen. Diabetes and all other stuff can happen. So like my big, like I said, I know some people nowadays, you know, they think I'm like they use the word the term like fatophobic or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I tell people like, nah, that's not me. I just want to see people that big. I just don't think, you know. I get like I'm not expecting somebody to be like, I get like being out of shape. I've been out of shape. But my point is like letting yourself go. And I feel like when it comes to working out and stuff like that, you don't have, like, say, you don't have to work out. Like, being physically active, you just feel better. You legit feel better, and you feel confident. And like I said, I'm like, you know, and you want to live. When I want to have kids, so I want to be able to live as long as I can with my kids. Like,
Yeah.
health reasons can happen from anything, but the one thing I'm not gonna let is food be the reason that I'm like, you know. And like, even with it, when it comes to diet, I always tell people too. I eat a lot. Like I eat around 4 to 6 times a day. So my thing is just like, I always tell people like, I eat fast food too. Some people be like, you can't eat that. You can't eat that. Like, no, I can eat it. I burn so much. I worked out today. I burned probably like 1,000 calories. I can eat this little chip or burger that's probably a few hundred calories. Because like I said, I always tell people like, even when like even like this is just mainly for people who are just starting to work out. You can, like I would say, just cut it slowly. Like if you eat,
Mhm.
just instead of eating burgers and fries at 4 maybe throw the nuggets away, or maybe have one nugget. Like just do it all slowly, and over time, just change it, and then go from there.
Yeah. So, two things from that. I think one thing that people kind of don't realize is like when it comes to calorie density in food, right? So, I'm just like you, dude. I'm a big eater, right? I can have a pint of ice cream and still be hungry for like three more. But a lot of people kind of don't realize. I mean, everybody knows how to eat healthy, but not everybody realizes like how many calories are in certain foods. So it's like if you switch out certain foods so that way you can eat more and you're going to be full, then you don't have to stress about this diet is garbage. I'm hungry all the time. I'm miserable all the time. It's like, okay, if you eat better, you can eat a lot more food. Your body's going to go through it a lot better. And the other thing I was going to say is like, because I was always overweight growing up, I have a very empathetic attitude towards obese people or people who are overweight. Like I low key, I'm like, I've been there before. Like I feel bad. I know what it's like to struggle through your daily life. And then on top of that, how difficult it is to lose all that weight. Keep in mind, bro, I lost 50 pounds in 7 months. So
Oh,
I've
wow.
kind of been like, yeah, I've been on both sides of the spectrum where it's like, oh, this is impossible. Why can't I do this? Versus like, okay, I can actually achieve what I want if I just work hard enough. And then like you're saying, like, I never want people to think that I'm fat phobic or like body shaming people, blah, blah, blah. I just realized, especially in the pandemic, how important your health is. And then on top of that, like the last few years, bro, I had so many people pass away for different issues. And it's like a lot of this stuff can simply be prevented by your diet and exercise. Like
Yeah,
there's like literally like half of all like disease, or I'm not gonna say that because obviously I'm not a doctor, but so many different diseases can be prevented if you actually take care of yourself.
exactly. And my thing is like, so when I was living with my mom, right? Like I said, she was cooking mainly all the food and stuff like that. But like, it came to a point where my mom stopped cooking. So I was like, and I really, at first, I really did not know how to cook. So I would say she just taught, and then she eventually, I think I asked my mom like basic stuff, chicken. I started with the basic gym rat meal with chicken and ground turkeys and rice. It's the most basic chicken ever. So like I literally, like I said, she taught me all the seasoning, you know, your paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, all that stuff. So my thing was like, okay. And when I moved out, I really, like I said, I'm like, I can't buy my mom to cook, or I can't rely on somebody to have food. You have to cook, or you just don't eat.
Yeah.
So I think it's like anything you want can be made a way. I had a bad experience with, I have a bad stomach, so I had a bad experience with every fast food you can think of, except Wendy's, I think. So even like the last time I had Domino's, it was a big ass hair in it, and I was like, bro, this is disgusting. I'm never eating pizza like from Domino's or Pizza Hut again. I started making my own pizza. I got like you can either dough, make your own dough, or you go to Trader Joe's or produce market, get cauliflower crust like that, and all you got to do is put your meat and cheese and everything else on it, and it's already way healthier than what you're getting at a greasy Domino's. Or you make, like I said, you want a burger. And my thing is, sometimes people gotta acknowledge you a little lazy. Like I get it. There's nothing wrong with having fast food. There's gonna be days you work too hard like that. Order some food. Obviously, you're too tired, of course. But most of the time, like if you like even now, like even when it comes to like chips and snacks, I eat fruit. I got into Quest loaded taco chips. They taste like Doritos. Like anything, like if somebody's doing anything fat, you can make it healthy. Like literally, I stopped eating kind of greasy like fried chicken. I used the air fryer. Like anything, like I said, there's so many things now. Now there's so many things, there's so many ways like you can make unhealthy food into healthy food. Even like vegan food, some vegan food look better than regular food.
Yeah. And I think another huge thing that's really slept on is diet soda. Everybody and their mom is like, oh, don't drink the diet soda. The aspartame is going to give you cancer, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff has been disproven. And then there's mad studies that kind of show like all like I can't even speak, artificial sweeteners. Yes. They're not doing anything bad for you, right? And then on top of that, like think about it this way. You're drinking, let's say you go through an entire sleeve of Coke a day, and that's like 150 calories per can. It's like, bro, that adds up. That, let's say it's like a 24 pack times whatever that would be. Like that's almost double your daily intake of calories that you would actually need. Versus if you switch to diet soda and you're saving all those calories, like you're going to lose weight. And it's going to add up over time. You know what I mean? Just like you said, all those small changes is going to help out a lot. So I want to like rewind a little bit back to your training approach. Yes. What's your approach to balancing calisthenics and weight training, and what has helped you shape your physique?
Definitely, I like now, for those people, this is mainly for people who have a membership. If you can do it at home, then leave it at home. I feel like I can do push-ups and sit-ups at the house. I don't need to do them. I don't need to do them in the gym. Like I see guys do push-ups and sit-ups in the house. I'm like, I can do that. I don't need to come to the gym and do more. Like you're paying for a membership. So I feel like even now, like I focus mainly more on weightlifting than anything. Because like I said, weightlifting is always going to get you, like I said, get that body right. So like I said, once in a while, like I said, there's nothing wrong. Like once in a while, like I said, I feel like big on like, your dips, or as a finisher, maybe as like a finisher, finish off or a beginner. But my thing is like, if you could do it at home, just do it at home. I like I said, when I go to the gym, I mainly focus, even now, I'm focusing mainly on weightlifting. Like I said, proper technique. Like I'm big on volume. Like even now, actually because I started working back out 3 months ago, even like now I was doing a bunch of machines, just getting myself back, like just doing heavy on machines. Now I'm back to actually using weights. Because I just started benching again and I started squatting again. So my biggest, like I said, just honestly, and I always tell people, ask. Like people, I know a lot of people, for those people who have like anxiety and stuff like that, like so even somebody like me, like if I go to the gym, I always try to help somebody. Like I never had a bad experience, but if you ask somebody, like you can look at somebody and be like, he knows how to lift, or she's doing. I promise you, if you just say like, hey, can you help me with something? Most of the time, most gym goers will help you out, and they will show. Or like I said, even like a lot of people, sometimes I know, like I said, this is from a personal trainer standpoint, people like, I have people like they have anxiety or they're scared to go to the gym. Like most of the time, most of the stuff I learned, I ask somebody like, hey, can you show me how to squat? Can you show me how to like form? Can you teach me? Like they sat there and they showed me, and then that's when you go from there. Like I said, it's better than you at the end of the day. Like I said, like if even like for people learning how to do workouts, it's crazy because I'm like, you have all these fitness influencers. That's how I know workouts ain't doing nothing. People can go to the gym and still not know how to work out. With all these fitness influencers, millions of followers, and people still can go to the gym and not knowing. Literally, like I always tell people, like you can literally go to the gym and ask somebody, or go on YouTube. I went on YouTube. I think literally, I forgot who it was. Chris Bumstead. You probably know who Chris Bumstead is. Like I really follow. I've been on big Chris Bumstead for a while, and I'm like, I looked at all his workouts. He shows people how to do it. Went on the same machines, and like I said, and I'm big on, like I said, I like the way Arnold looked. So I'm a big weightlifter. I guess I say weightlifter because lifting bodybuilding is kind of,
Yeah.
But that's why I always like. I'm big on. I tell people like, if you want to scope your body and you want like a nice physique, you have to weightlift and you have to train heavy. And heavy doesn't mean like you lift 1,000 pounds more than your weight. you just lift more than you normally can do, and you put a lot of reps into it. That's all it is.
Definitely. And I love what you said about like, if you can do something at home, don't go to the gym and do it, right? So for me, I used to be all about the weights. Like, and again, like that's why it was so hard for me to lose weight over the years because I was neglecting my cardio. I was neglecting my cardiovascular health. Now I'm a big advocate of walks and the stationary bike, but it kind of drives me crazy. Like when I see people go to the gym and then they only go there to walk on the treadmill for 40 minutes and then they leave. And I'm like, dude, you could go out, you could walk around the block for 40 minutes.
Yep.
Or and I guess like it's different for like Stairmaster or elliptical stuff like that. Like it's kind of different, but it drives me crazy when I see 3/4 of the gym is all cardio machines and there's only a small weightlifting section because I'm
Yep.
just like, bro, what are we even here for? It drives me crazy.
Oh,
And
my
then
bad.
no, go ahead.
Now, I was gonna say, especially I guess like being in New Jersey, like the gyms I've been to, like almost every gym. Not every gym in New Jersey, but some the Brunswick, East Brunswick, all these gyms. Most of them, honestly, to me, are ass. Like people look at me when I say that, I'm like, no, because I'm like, first of all, it's like most of these gyms are dirty as hell.
Yeah.
Like literally unsanitary. And then honestly, and then some of them don't even have. Some of them are lacking the machines. Like there'll be gyms like 1 or 2 back machines. I'm like, what the heck? And nowadays, you got everybody that wants to lift. It's the summer, at certain times, everybody wants to lift. Now you can't get on that back machine. So it's like, that's why I feel like, I feel like for people when like, if you're a beginner, I always tell people like, obviously go to Planet Fitness. Like I'm big on, I saw that at Planet Fitness. So I'm like, don't go to the gym where all the meatheads are gonna be at because you're just gonna feel insecure.
Yeah.
Like for most people, like I said, and like my biggest thing, I always tell everybody, hit workouts and the treadmill will not get you to look good. I'm sorry. It's just people. I hope people one day. I'm waiting for people to realize that. I will say it again. Hit workouts and cardio does not make you will look like an Instagram body. Or when I look like a bodybuilder, when I look, you will just lose weight. And people don't say when I say lose weight. Yes, will you be skinnier? You'll be a skinnier form of you, but you're not getting no muscle, so you'll just be
Right.
skinny. Look like a deflated balloon.
Mm-hmm.
You want to look like just like when I tell girls, like you want to look like those girls that you see on Instagram, or you want to look like those guys that you see on Instagram. Like so especially like you follow certain girls, they get to the ground, they squat heavy, those girls go crazy in the gym. That's why their butt or that's why their legs look so big or looks that way. Look, because they're like I said, strength training. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Right.
This thing for any client or anybody. Like this is one of the people that anybody sees this interview. Like, stop the cardio, stop that. If you're extremely overweight, definitely start off with some like treadmill or a stairmaster or something like that. But my biggest thing is also yes, you have to like strength train. You have to get on and learn how to like properly lift and stuff like that. Because if not, you're not look the way you think you're gonna look.
Yeah, and resistance training, like there's so many benefits, bro. Like especially I used to work over in Hopewell and the age demographic there is like 50 plus.
Yeah.
It would be all these people that have like arthritis or all these different joint and bone problems because they never touched a weight in their whole life. And so they're trying to get their act together in their 50s and 60s. And it's like some of these ladies, I'm afraid to make them do things because I feel like if they're going to fall, they're just going to snap up and turn to dust, bro. It's crazy. So when it comes to lifting, yes, it's excellent for developing muscle, which will boost your metabolism, which helps you with the weight loss. You'll be able to eat more calories in a day. The other thing is like bone mineral density and just making yourself sturdy. I don't want to have to worry about like falling and breaking my hip when I'm 50 years old. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't see any downsides to resistance training. So you kind of touched on it a little bit when you're like quoting like weightlifting. What kind of weightlifting do you prefer? I know you kind of do a little bit of everything. Me personally, it's bodybuilding and powerlifting, but what tends to be your go-to?
I always tell people bodybuilders like I follow like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I even have his arm tattoo. I have his quote tattooed on my arm. I'm big on like literally big on body. Like look at them. Like I said, obviously we're not gonna look like that without genetics and steroids. So I know I'm not gonna look like that. But like if you look at their workouts and like train hard, you will look pretty good. Like whatever you're like I said, I mean I would like once again, I'm not expecting to look like them, but they lift properly. Like their legs and like their arms, like they're muscular and they look good. So
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I don't know if he's still in here, but Steve, my boy, he's my coach. He just joined the chat.
Okay.
He was one of the people that kind of inspired me to first started like losing weight because he competes in men's physique, but he's like a natural athlete. And I'm like, oh, this dude looks good. Maybe I can attain that as well. So I feel like we should all compare ourselves more to natural people than those like roided out like superhero physiques. But I
Yeah.
definitely feel you. I would say like currently I'm more powerlifting esque, but like the goat is always bodybuilding, and I'm going to be bodybuilding like for the rest of my life for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, you know, it's something. Even now, like I'm really wanting to do a show. And I was like, I admit it. Like, I do want to take a show where they do take stuff. I just feel like it's one of those things I want to be able to, like, I want to, like, you know how those bodybuilders got the pictures? I want to have a picture and be like, I did it. Now, do I think I'll stay with it? Probably not. But it was one of those things I feel like in my life that I want to be able to do. But yeah, I was like I said, I'm big on, like I said, bodybuilding is definitely like the way to go. And then even now, I don't follow half the fitness influencers. While I look at their page, of course, even most of my fitness page, I do not follow some of these influencers. I literally can't because like I think even one of them the other, I unfollowed one of them the other day because I was like when he was like I think he's like 5'10", and he looks 230, 40 pounds. He's 208 pounds. And he's bigger and more vascular than me. I'm like, yeah, but you know, he's natural. So I was like, oh, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I in the comment to say something? You know, I probably look like an asshole or something. But yeah. So that's pretty much like I said. I'm big on bodybuilding. Like I emphasize when I say I emphasize bodybuilding for anybody that's working out. Don't look at like I said. Don't look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. But go on, like I said, go on Instagram and like look at like people who like could just consistent workout. Cause you can tell when somebody's just been working out for you. Look at their page and see how long they've been working out and see the development and just be like, yeah, like this is legit. Like they look good.
So speaking of, how have you kept your passion for the fitness industry alive over the years? Because a lot of us, especially trainers, we usually go into the field for a couple of reasons. One, we think it's a way to fund us to lift all day.
Yeah.
Uh, Two, for the girls or for the guys. Or three, because we want to, or we feel like we can help out everybody in the world when in reality we can't. So how have you kind of avoided like burnout and kind of kept your passion for everything alive?
It's definitely it's kind of like all the things you said, to be honest. Like I honestly now, like I'm more heavier. Like when people sometimes, like you know, I'm a really humble guy. Like when people say I'm big, I'm like, no, I'm not. Like I don't think even now, like I said, when I seen, you know, I'm very a competitor. Like when I work out, like I've seen. I don't know if you ever seen an IFBB pro up close. Like these guys are massive. So when I see people say I'm big, I'm like, no, I'm not. They're big. I'm like, those are like massive humans. But like one of the, like it's definitely for myself. Honestly, like I said, I like looking good. I like looking healthy. Like working out made me gain so much confidence. Like literally, I remember when I first worked out, I wasn't that confident as a person. Like, since I worked out, it definitely made me way more confident. And then, like I said, it's definitely to motivate people. Like I was even like at the gym. Like I don't know why I'm always meeting somebody at the gym. I'm just one of those guys. Like I go to the gym, I'll say hi to everybody. Like, but like it's just to motivate people. Like you know, we all like I'm happy when I get real happy and like enjoyment when I see people in the gym, big, small, whatever your physique is. It's just like, you know, we all here to just get it in. And like I said, it's definitely like I said, everything you said, obviously, you know, it's for it's like for everybody, for myself, and it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the other thing that has helped me personally is basically what you're doing. Have like a well-rounded approach, right? I feel like it's really easy to get burnt out if you're only focused on powerlifting, if you're only focused on bodybuilding. That's why I tend to have very like seasonal lifting where it's like, okay, for these months, I'm going to focus on getting as strong as I can. For these months, I'm going to focus on losing weight, or I'm going to focus on building as much muscle as I can. Or sometimes it'll be as simple as like switching up your exercise variations.
Yeah.
So I get really beat up doing the squat, bench, and deadlift all the time, but I love them, right? So I'll switch it up. I'll do, okay, let me do incline bench for a couple months, or let me focus on my overhead press for a couple months, or try front squats or different specialty bars, like stuff like that. Like there's so many options that you can do to help you keep things fresh, for sure.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to someone who's just starting their fitness journey?
Diet. That's the biggest thing I push on anybody is to eat healthy. People, I'm telling you, there's no point. Even now, like now that I'm like, you know, I feel like I'm almost reaching my maximum gains, whatever. Eating healthy is avid. Like you cannot not get like everybody has like potential to be big and strong. You will not reach that potential if you don't eat healthy. Like we all seen with a dirty bulk. Most people knows when you eat crappy and you try to work out, you just look nasty. You look disgusting. My
Yeah.
base body working out, just focus on the diet. If you can focus on a diet and then go, I'd rather you have a great diet and go to the gym twice a week than somebody eats shitty and go to the gym 5 times a week. I'm sorry, like diet is extremely important, and consistency, like being consistent. Like I was one of those too, like, oh man, I'm not seeing my results fast enough. Oh man, what is this? Like, what's the point of working out when I first started? But like staying consistent. And like I said, it can start off like even with your diet. Like I'm not expecting somebody who eats fast food or eats unhealthy to go the next day and meal prep and have like broccoli and asparagus. Like no, I'm not expecting that. Like just slowly just change like your diet over time. Like that's exactly what I did. Just I used to eat like 2 or 3, 4 for 4, and then obviously I couldn't stop. I got to stop doing that. I went from like 2 to 3, maybe just to 1, and then like I said, I started. And then literally when you see, it's like a mental happiness. Like when you see like your body change, like even now, like when I eat fast food, I feel disgusted. Like from a person that used to eat fast food and feel good, when I eat fast food, I feel bloated, I feel nasty, I don't like the way it feels. Even most of the time, I would rather starve than eat fast food. I would rather starve than eat fast food because it's nasty. But it took time. Like before, like I said, for someone who used to eat fast food all the time, so now I can't really remember the last time I had fast food, to be honest. It just literally takes time. And like I said, diet's important. And then like when you see that consistency, like I guarantee you for anybody that just started working out, when you worked out, I always say, go start off with 30 days. I always, even as a personal trainer, I always go off monthly progression. Don't go off 1 week's and expect to look this way. Oh, I've been training hard in the gym this week, I should look this way. Like, no, like see how you are in February and see how you are in March. And then look at the difference. Look at it monthly, then keep going. And I promise you, like I said, when you see, and most people too, when you see yourself, lose that weight, gain that muscle, you're gonna be like, oh wow, I see a difference now.
Yeah.
And take pictures. That always helps. That's my biggest, one of the biggest regrets I wish I didn't do, is take more videos and pictures to see like where I came from. But like take pictures and like see your progress. Like you really would see, like if somebody worked out now and they just started working out and they, like I said, they saw themselves 6 months from now, they probably would be like, oh, I gotta stick to this. I gotta stay working out. And that's that'd be the big help.
Yeah, I think for me, I guess I would say like the reverse, right? Because I kind of find that it's really, honestly, dude, like it's really not that hard to go to the gym and get your lift in, but it is really hard to control everything outside of that, right? So I normally, when people come to me for training, I'm like, okay, if you can guarantee me a half an hour for twice a week, you can make really good gains doing that, right? Because it's like, okay, well, if they try to go hard body straight to 3 or 4 times a week, first of all, that's mad expensive. And then secondly, it's really hard to commit that. Like it's going to be really easy to fall off. So just like you're saying, like start small and try to progress from there. And then I think the other thing would be sometimes it's really overwhelming and you want to switch things up all the time, just like you're saying. I think progressive overload for the simple big compound lifts is what's really going to help you out the most. So I always teach people how to squat, bench, deadlift, and overhead press. And then they normally get hooked on the progress because they're like, oh, I'm getting stronger each week because I'm either getting better at the movement itself or I'm learning to exert myself harder. You know what I mean? So I would say start off small, get your lift in first, and then from there, just like you're saying, make those small adjustments to your diet. And I think it's really a lot more manageable that way instead of people. Because dude, like I said, I was one of those crazy people. I went from eating 4 for 4s or having an entire pizza to myself to, like I said, I hit up my boy Steve, and then boom, meal prep, 6 meals a day.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that. A lot of them are going to give up like after the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
But again, you just got to find what works for you and stick to it.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's like my biggest thing for anybody. Like, it's all like it's your journey. So, like I said, there's no rush. I was something like you just can't expect results so fast or anything. Like, just take your time. And like I said, over time, even now, like I get proud sometimes. Like now that I've been posting more videos like that, and I've seen where I came from. I'm like, yeah, like you gotta give yourself a little pat on the back. It's like, okay, I've been consistent. I've been working out, so not too bad. It's not too bad at all.
Definitely. All right. So my last question for you is, what are your personal business and fitness goals for 2022?
All right. So for my let's go fitness goals. So fitness goals by the end of the year, I want I want a 500 squat and a probably 400 bench probably. and I want to be able to do hopefully, but you know what a front lever is?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be able, like I said, I want to do either a front lever or a flagpole, one or the other. And I want to be able to, like I said, I want to, because like I said, there's not a lot of big dudes on Instagram doing calisthenics, and
Yeah.
most are lifting most likely, or they're probably taking some, and they're probably doing bodybuilding. So I want to be able to do like definitely, like I said, I'm confident of 500 squat and probably 400 bench. That's what I'm aiming for by the end of the year. Even like business wise, even now I feel like just expanding. Honestly, like I feel like even when it comes to personal training, I have a meal prep for some people. I just started meal prepping for people. Literally about to right after this, I'm about to do that. I have to cook for one of my boys. I feel like just expanding is just honestly my goal is just to expand like my Instagram, like even like you I just want to promote genuine fitness, like that's my biggest thing. And like hopefully, like I said, when it comes to business things, like I want to develop more of an audience. I feel like a bit more just to be smarter, like before I start buying t-shirts and doing all this other stuff, because that takes time and money. I don't want to waste that. I want to use that and then like look, I want to like build a bigger audience, and then eventually, like I said, I'm like, when I feel like I have a solid audience, then I feel like then I'll probably purchase something like that. But right now, my biggest thing is just like I think this goes even now just trying to personal train everywhere. Honestly, like I want to get Tyquan out there. I want to train like even now. I want to make my biggest thing is also collabing with other people. Getting we Jersey, so I'm trying to get more people from like everywhere. I try to anybody. I try to collab with anybody. Obviously, like whoever, if they come across my page, whoever, I always try to like, let's just make a video. It's not that hard. Like we can work something out, and like I said, just promote fitness. None like real genuine fitness, and hopefully that motivates, inspire other people.
Word, definitely. Yeah, and if you're trying to get your squat up, let me know, bro. You should come through sometime. We can get a lift in.
All right, man. Don't kill me now. I'm like, so yeah, definitely. Honestly, I probably will come to you because, like I said, I'm like, I think even now, like, because I'm back to actually strength training again. So yeah, most likely, trust me, but soon it'll probably definitely hit you up just to work on squat. Even though it's probably gonna kill me, but I like it. I like the leg pump. It just feels good.
Yeah, same, dude. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining. If you don't already, please follow Taekwon's page. Please follow my page. Apparel is for sale if you want some. Thank you again for doing this, bro. I appreciate you. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, thanks for being on it too. Thanks for letting me join your little. I don't say podcast. Thanks for me letting join the interview and stuff like that.
Yeah, no problem. All right, bro. I'll let you get to it then.
All right, my boy. Be safe. All right, brother.
All right, you too. See you.
Yeah.